How's it going, guys? I'm Danny, and today we are throwing back to the second most viewed video on my channel. It's a side-by-side form comparison. Today I have Jared Neal and Joey. Now, Jared Neal throws just a country mile, if you don't know. He threw one of these as a junior EMAC Truth. He threw it across Nissan Stadium. Like this little thing, all the way the crap down there. It was insane. And Joey, I lost one of my favorite discs out of state. I looked for it for an hour, but I couldn't find it, but Joey did, and Joey sent it back to me. This is one of my favorite EMAC Truths. I was so sad to lose it, but Joey found it. Thank you, Joey. As a thank you to you, I'm going to now point out all of your flaws in front of thousands of strangers on the internet. Okay? Let's go. So first things first, let's look at the X-step. Jared's X-step is much smaller than Joey's. That helps him stay sideways, a little bit better pointed at the target, and it helps him stay balanced. If you're taking a nice big X-step, you're throwing off your balance a lot and you're turning backwards. Now I know you people are going to say, oh, but he's got his left foot turned backwards in the X-step and you say to never turn the left foot backwards in the X-step. I'm getting to that. It's not ideal, but it's okay the way Jared does it and not the way Joey does it. Another real quick thing to note, Jared is airborne. Jared is jumping in the middle of his X-step. This is known as a Brinster Hop, and Jared's doing a little different here, but people like Devin Owens or Miles Seaborn do a Brinster Hop as well, along with obviously Steve Brinster. It can add power when it's utilized correctly, but most people who jump are just moving too fast to X-step correctly. So if you are jumping in your X-step, learn how to throw without doing it. And then you can try and add it back slowly. It's just a little hop. You can see his feet aren't more than just an inch or two off the ground. But when it's done correctly, it can add power for some people. I wouldn't recommend you try it if you're not doing it, because it's really easy to just mess everything up. All right, moving on to the reach back. Real quick, they are both reaching back early. Jared, you thought you were safe because I was using you as an example, but nope. You can see both of them have their reach back peaked before their front foot hits the ground. Now, like I said, Jared's is early, but he delays his pull a little bit so he comes through on the correct time. Reaching back early will usually cause the disc to reach across your body, because as you set your front foot down, the disc will tend to reach over here, and that makes rounding. Also, reaching back early can cause you to lean back over your back foot, and then your weight sort of shifts up and over the top onto your front foot rather than sideways. It's not a really good idea. It throws off your balance a lot. So try to stay vertical in your reach back and time your reach back so the reach back peaks right when the front foot hits the ground. And look at how far Jared is extending back. He's got that disc way back there. He's got his shoulders turned all the way away from the target and then an extra like 30 degrees. He is putting that disc way back there. He's about to absolutely launch that thing. And Joey's got his disc reached back, but he's not committed all the way. He's not reaching back all the way. This could be a sign of going too fast. Lots of times people don't reach back all the way. I don't reach back all the way because I'm going too fast and I don't have time to extend the disc behind me. All right, here is right as they're beginning their pull. Look at the back foot. Jared's foot is engaged in the throw. His heel is off the ground. But Joey's foot has the heel on the ground, which means that he's sort of dragging his foot. His foot is just kind of hanging out there. But because Jared's heel is off the ground, he's engaging the muscles in his legs and he's pushing off that back foot into the brace. I talk about this in my toe dragging video if you haven't seen that. But you don't want to be mashing off your back foot. You don't want to be pushing really hard. You just want to have that back foot engaged so it's powering the shot and powering your weight shift a little bit. Next is they both have their left arm in tight to their left side. It can be easy to let this arm swing out all willy-nilly, but just like a figure skater spins faster with their arms away from their body, and they pull their arms in, spin faster, and that's going to add power. So left arm is tight to the side. That's good. They're both doing that awesome. Take a look real quick at how they're pulling the disc. Jared is pulling the disc in front of his body and creating that power pocket like you're supposed to. Joey's has got the disc sort of across his body. It's coming into his left shoulder rather than in front of him. You can see his arm is a little bit at an acute angle here rather than 90 degrees. That means that the disc has to change direction right as Joey's about to throw it, right about to release it, and that creates less accuracy and less power. All right, now let's look at the release. See that both of them are holding onto the disc as long as possible. That means they're getting full extension out of their arm. They're using the entire power that their arm has to throw the disc, and that's good. This is the key thing here. This is the key thing that a lot of people miss, and it's really, really hard to teach without a visual aid like this. look at their shoulders. Jared's shoulders are not turned as far forward as Joey's. It's ideal to keep the shoulders timed with your arm, not leading your arm at all. Joey's got his shoulders a little bit too far in front, and that takes away power. Jared has got his shoulders closed correctly, and that's a big part of what gets him his power. What this does is it keeps your shoulders in place, and it whips your arm out in front, which is really powerful rather than sort of trailing your arm behind your shoulders. If you can get the idea of whipping your arm in front of your shoulders without rounding or pulling the disc too tight or swinging it out, that is going to add a ton of power. So overall, Joey's doing really well. He's got his hand on the outside of the disc and he's got a good brace. He's pulling mostly straight. It seems like he's just trying to throw too hard. It seems like he's making the classic mistakes that I see when somebody tenses up. I would say Joey should stay a lot looser, make sure he's nice and relaxed when he's throwing, make sure to reach nice and wide away from his body and pull the disc in front of his chest. It's almost like if you don't try as hard, you end up throwing further. It's almost like slow is smooth and smooth is far. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next week.